everyone, welcome back. So as many of you requested, I am back here with this video on how to deal with breakups or heartbreaks. So before starting this video, I would say that if a relationship ends, it causes pain, and it may cause, so with some people, it doesn't affect them much and they overcome it easily. With others, there is still a lot that they feel, and what happens after relationship end, their perception, their feelings and their thoughts about it is very subjective. So there is always that individual factor that plays a huge role as to how one look at it. So I would say that it is always better to talk about it one to one to help that person overcome it. But in this video, I have tried to generalize certain things. I have talked about those things which mostly people experience, which I have heard, and certain things that I would personally would like to say. And so all that how to deal with it is taking that personal responsibility. So when it comes to dealing, it is all about you taking that responsibility. Now, what does that mean? So that means that if you are still at that level, where you are blaming the other person, where you're figuring out what happened, what went wrong, I did everything good, still this happened, or if you were the one who dumped the other person, you might think, why was I in that relationship, what was the use, I wasted so much time, and then so lots of questions, and you're still analyzing the situation. So dealing with it basically means shifting your focus. It is very important that you have to shift that focus from the external, where you're still blaming, figuring out why, questioning from the situation. You have to shift your focus internally to your own self. So that is taking personal responsibility. In other words, I would say that, okay, the relationship is between two people. When it comes to that, initially it is between two people, but when it comes to healing, it is all about you. So it is now, it is not the situation that is affecting us. It is not the breakup that is the cause of our sorrow or misery. In fact, it is our own perception of the breakup, what we are thinking, our own thoughts, our own feelings and our own emotions that we are suffering. So we have to work there. So you have to understand that we don't have to work about how to fix the other person and what should have gone better and trying to analyze it, overanalyzing it, overthinking it. No, but rather we have to work on our own thoughts. Now this has happened. Now what is bothering us? We have to figure out what mainly bothers us still. What is that thought that comes up very frequently? What is that behavior that is troublesome? What is making you dysfunctional and you're not able to focus? So that there we have to work. So we have to first of all shift our attention internally, that is taking responsibility. And if you're already at that stage, then it is about remaining at that stage. So in this video, I would say that I'm going to tell you the steps to come to that stage where you are internally focused. So for that, the first thing is that do not be in a rush. So usually what happens, suddenly if you experience this, people try to rush through things and they feel that, okay, I need to moving on. This is very commonly heard, and people try to distract themselves through all sort of things. And when they are alone, then they might think about it, feel sad about it, and sometimes become miserable about it. So it is better that if you are at the initial phase and if you have still not accepted your own internal feelings, it is better to allow it to surface up. So do not distract yourself. Sit with yourself and let those emotions come out. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, or there is a mixture of emotion, if you're still loving the person, hating the person, let it all come out. It is very important to vent out. So take it slow. It has its own time. So it is, if it is like emotional pain, so if you have that physical hurt, you can see it, you apply the ointment, you see the healing process, and you are with it. But when it comes to emotional hurt or emotional pain, it is not visible, and we don't acknowledge it, and we rush through it, and we suppress our emotions. So then it doesn't work. There is some pain that you're feeling, so deal with it, acknowledge it that it exists, be a little patient, allow the healing to take place. So all that negative emotions or whatever, anything that you're feeling, you're thinking, let it come out. Another very commonly what people say is they tend to blame themselves. They feel that, was I bad enough, why did this happen, what went wrong. So you want that conclusion as to, was it really your fault? So for that I would say, okay, if you want that conclusion, you analyze the situation once and forever. If you feel that yes, you are at fault somewhere, so you need to forgive your own self. And you also need to, you can seek forgiveness. So for that you can write that forgiveness, you can write a letter where you're asking for forgiveness from other person. So there you will have internal peace. You may not send that letter, you may not to somebody, you may just write it, ask for forgiveness. And if you feel that you are all being fair throughout, and still the other person left and this happened, so you need to forgive the other person. For that also you write that letter. You may not send it, or you may send it, that is your wish, but write that letter and make peace with it. So you have analyzed the situation. Don't keep on going in that vicious circle all the time, thinking, oh, this happened, then that happened, and that story is playing. So you settle with it, accept whatever has happened, and see how what is there to learn from it, or to whatever you have concluded. But then after that, it is all about you, your emotions, your own thoughts. If you feel that there are some thoughts that come again and again, and they're very unhealthy, they're not working for you, they're making you unproductive, they're making you feel miserable, you need to produce a counter thought to it. That comes with little practice, but it happens eventually. You need to see whether what you are thinking is really practical, or does it really have any evidence, is it really worthwhile what you're feeling. So again and again you have to deal with those negative thoughts. You have to produce another thought that is productive, that is countering it, the counter thought you have to produce. So as your thoughts will change, your feelings automatically changes, so your perception about looking at the same thing changes. So that is where we have to reach, that is the stage. So that situation will anyway remain same, it is not going to change. But right now we look at it from a different perspective, and now we will be looking at the same thing from a maybe more matured, more different perspective, that is working for us. It is making us internally feel good, have good emotions, and that's what it is all about. It's about having good emotions. Yes, you are entangled with that person emotionally. Now we have to come to that stage where we still may be thinking about the person, we may still be loving the person, but we don't get very much entangled emotionally or overwhelmed by it. We are there and we are doing everything. We are not distressed, we are not stressed, we are productive in our work, our social life is fine, and everything that we are doing, and we may still remember the person. Some of the people even talk to their ex and they feel they don't suffer it. So it's largely about you taking that personal responsibility. So I think this video has gone quite long. If you're still with me, if you're still here, it's all, you can say that you can learn from it. You can see, look at the positive side of it, and largely take that personal responsibility to keep your emotions healthy, your thoughts healthy and productive. So that's all for now. If you feel this video can help somebody, please do share it with them and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye bye.